Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I'm Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Yoweri Museveni arrives in Cape Town for the 28th World Economic Forum on Africa. Mufti Mubadje appointed on African Council of Religious Leaders. All civil societies praise President Museveni on GMOs. And in sports, Kenyans dominate Uganda Open Amateur Golf Tournament. Hello, Mohammed Mugalu joins us in sign language. President Yoweri Museveni has arrived in Cape Town, South Africa for the 28th World Summit. Now, the success of businesses in Africa is important because it has a direct role in ending polarization and causing sustainable peace. This according to the President. The President, who is accompanied by the First Lady, Janet Museveni, made the remarks today at the World Economic Forum on Africa in Cape Town, South Africa, where he was part of a panel discussion on the theme Towards Peace. A discussion at the Cape Town International Convention Center was moderated by George Brand, the President of the World Economic Forum. President Museveni noted that businesses were capable of transforming Africa from its current vertical pre-capitalist setting, which is preoccupied by tribe and other identity issues, to a horizontal system dominated by interests. Earlier, asked by the moderator about what Africa could do to avoid conflicts in the future, President Museveni said it was first of all critical to understand the causes of the conflict.
Because when you say, I am Christian, I am Muslim, so we fight. We fight because of that. We must have social metamorphosis. We must have a middle class. A middle class is more cosmopolitan than the tribes. The tribes are parochial. They're just looking at your area. Because you don't have interests beyond your village. You are looking after goats. Goats only need one hill. But if I'm producing motorcycles, then I need the whole of East Africa to sell my motorcycles. So business can be the transformative engine of changing, of peace, actually.
And the Prime Minister, Dr. Rakana Rugunda, has said Uganda continues to enjoy good cordial relations with Zambia. The Premier met the remarks while meeting a delegation from the government of Zambia at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala. A delegation led by the government chief whip of Zambia is in the country to benchmark how the office of the chief whip in Uganda operates.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Rakana Rugunda, has said Zambia continues to play a crucial role in the lives of Ugandans through supporting them to find refuge in times of need, among other opportunities. The Prime Minister was speaking to delegates from Zambia and highlighted that the country greatly benefits from the exchange of information and collaboration with Zambia.
Very close, because we don't have problems. Many Ugandans found Zambia a safe home. Very close because Zambia played its critical role as a frontline country in the struggle for the liberation of Southern Africa against apartheid. And that steadfastness by Zambia is highly commended by Uganda and other African. That leadership role is deeply appreciated. That role played by Nyerere and Kaunda.
The Minister of General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mary Karol Okurut, who was representing the government chief whip of Uganda, explained that Uganda has made significant progress in achieving gender equality and equal representation in Parliament.
It's been helped, especially the cause of women, yes, and to be like role models for the girl child, yes, and they articulate gender issues, women issues so well. Because they are looking at these issues from the lenses of women.
That's true.
There are certain things you may not be able to see.
That's true.
Yeah, but there are also certain things you may not be able to see.
That's right.
Yeah, but it has really helps those marginalized groups. I think for me what has even been very important in Uganda is the affirmative environment.
The government chief whip of Zambia, Brian Mundubire, commended the Parliament of Uganda for its good policies, noting that they are key for benchmarking. He noted that much as the government of Zambia is still making practical steps in achieving gender equality, he is optimistic that the benchmarking will improve Zambian office of the chief whip.
There were many exchange programs that we had. The Uganda Parliament was picked as one of the parliaments working with benchmarking. Basically, to expose my office to the functions of the chief whip. We also came to learn a bit more about the operations of the committees. We had particular interest in the budget office. We're in the process of setting up a budget office. There's been a lot of debate around that. We know that you've had your budget office functioning for quite some time now.
That's true.
And we felt we could learn from the best practices of that particular office.
Mundubire was in the company of the Deputy Principal Clerk of Zambia, Jimmy Sabi. The meeting was also attended by officials from Parliament and the government of Uganda. Doreen Nasasra reporting for UBC News.
Police has released closed-circuit television frame grabs showing events preceding the double kidnap of Miss Miriam Nagirinya and Ronald Chitaimbwa last week. According to the police spokesperson, Pauline Amaya, the frame grabs were captured using the automatic number plates recognition cameras, and she appealed to all those with information that may help police to identify the suspect to come forth. Earlier this week, the police standards unit arrested police officers who were on duty at Katwe and Kubumbiro police stations. These were allegedly approached by the family a few hours after suspects went missing to nip the kidnap in the bud, but turned a deaf ear. Religious leaders based in Nigeria appointed Mufti of Uganda Ramadan Mobaje on the executive of the council. The council, that consists of 900 religious leaders from the entire African continent, intends to bring peace and unity across religions and nations.
While addressing the media, the Mufti of Uganda, Ramadan Mobaje, thanked the council for entrusting him with such a big position. In his speech, the Mufti urged government to strive and bring to an end the rampant kidnaps and murders ravaging the nation.
We as religious leaders in Uganda condemn in the strongest terms possible the killings and murders that are taking place in our country.
The Mufti also congratulated the newly appointed Archbishop of Uganda, Dr. Kazimba Mugalu, and also thanked the outgoing Archbishop for the service he has rendered to the Church of Uganda and the nation at large.
Honored to congratulate Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba upon his election to the office of the Archbishop of the province of the Church of Uganda.
Mufti Mobaje also prayed for peace to prevail in South Africa, where xenophobic violence has returned.
My advice to Ugandans in South Africa is that you be good citizens, be good people in those countries, represent us, you are our ambassadors there. Let somebody not be punished because of his faith, neither because of his tribe, because it is not somebody's making.
He urged Ugandans to do whatever it takes to keep Uganda a peaceful place for all.
And Parliament has granted Ndowa East legislator Wilfred Nwagaba leave to present a private member's bill on electoral review in the absence of the Attorney General. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Jacob Oulanyah took a decision to allow opposition to present electoral reforms following delays and excuses from the Attorney General's office. We have the story.
Members, I now put the question that the Honorable Gilbert Nwagaba be granted leave to present a private member's bill entitled the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2019. Will those in favor say aye? To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Leave is according.
In January, the Shadow Attorney General Osondora East legislator Wilfred Nwagaba gave notice to Parliament on his intention to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2019. His notice was, however, postponed to allow the Attorney General's office to present government bills on the electoral reforms and constitutional amendment, which has since been delayed. Nwagaba last month went ahead to move a consolidated motion in a view of amending the Constitution to deal with changes in the electoral reforms, whereas the Attorney General's office was supposed to have presented the amendments months ago. 8 months later, no step has been taken. However, following delays by the government side, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, decided to clear opposition to present the reforms in the absence of the Attorney General.
So from that time, it started appearing as if the Attorney General was the one on trial.
Attorney General and his deputy, through the Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, communicated to Parliament that they were away on official duties
and placed the matter on the order paper to the knowledge of both the Attorney General and his deputy. And they both know that these matters are important and they should be here. But they're not here.
The Attorney General is in London arbitrating for Uganda Railways. You know, the RVR took us to court. We are talking in terms of billions of shillings. Equally, his deputy is also involved in another very big assignment, which could cost a lot of money to the country.
A debate followed, however, on whether to clear the mover of the motion in the absence of the Attorney General and his deputy, or wait for the two.
The General did not communicate that since we are dealing with the Constitution, they should be here. I don't see any reason whatsoever why you would block a member who is just seeking leave.
So you put us in a very awkward situation.
In unison, MPs agreed to proceed without the Attorney General. Deputy Speaker Jacob Oulanyah cleared Wilfred Nwagaba to seek leave of the House to present a private member's bill on the constitutional review. Oulanyah tasked Minister of Finance and other relevant departments to work hand in hand with Nwagaba.
I put the question to this motion. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Honorable Gilbert Nwagaba be granted leave to present a private member's bill entitled the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2019. Will those in favor say aye? To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Leave is accordingly granted to the Honorable Nwagaba. The provisions of the articles of the Constitution are rules of procedure, inviting other, requesting or not requesting, directing departments of government to render assistance to the Honorable Member to come out with the final text of the bill that should be introduced to this House urgently. And thank you for your perseverance and patience.
Among the key issues the bill intends to address include procedures through which Electoral Commission members are elected, excluding the army from the legislature, reducing the number of ministers, abolishing the minister's office and empowering the vice president, having the president step aside during elections, among others.
The army should remain a people's army, but not partisan. We are also looking at the true separation of powers, that if you are appointed to cabinet, then you cease to be a member of parliament representing a constituency.
Those presented by Honorable Majezi and Honorable Mawanda and the government itself left a lot to be desired.
Nonetheless, government has since tabled 5 bills which include the Presidential Elections Amendment Bill 2019, the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2019, the Electoral Commission Amendment Bill 2019, The Political Organization Amendment Bill 2019 and the Local Government Amendment Bill 2019. Susan Naunga reporting.
Articles of the Constitution are.
Meanwhile, civil society organizations and members of parliament have called for the changes in the National Social Security Fund Amendment Bill 2019 before passing it into a law. This was revealed in the discussion meeting held in Kampala, where members of parliament, civil society organizations, including Oxfam Action Aid, among others, were present.
The qualifying age for me.
In August this year, the State Minister for Youth and Children, Nachwala Chinji, through the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, tabled the National Social Security Fund Amendment Bill of 2019 in Parliament. The bill proposes 29 amendments aiming at expanding the coverage of Social Security through mandatory contribution of all workers, providing mid-term access to voluntary contributions. The bill also seeks to make contributions compulsory for all workers in the formal sector and also allow voluntary contributions for workers in the informal sector. In the discussion meeting held at Serena Hotel today, there was mixed reaction on the bill.
To save. Those who have gone through that pain, don't give them pay again. So that the rest will also what? Save. Once they have saved, allow them to invest. Once they have invested, please, if they make a return, now you tax what? The profits.
Me, at the beginning, when I'm earning, because I'm still fresh and I can do work. And let them wait for those who fall under the threshold.
Taxes here properly. Let's not subject each and everything to a tax.
In the meeting, members called for the liberalization of the scheme to allow more competitors,
which might even give better dividends to members or interest on their savings. That could be making that could be more enterprising and can make choice on where to save based on what is offered.
However, the Executive Director of National Social Security Fund opposed the liberalization of the scheme, citing Chile as a case study for the demerits of liberalization.
Is you want to advertise, you want to get market share, you want to get a good distribution system. So you have to spend money in order to get the customers. So what ends up happening is that the cost of running the schemes increases. And when it increases, that is when the competition then sets in on pricing.
Discussants suggested 45 years as the age at which savers should access their savings.
To the 5%, and this percentage can be accessed at least 45 years of age. Someone can invest that money in something that they can monitor, because they still at 45, I believe, we are all able to monitor the different business investments that we can establish at that point.
The Chairperson General of National Organization of Trade Unions, Asha Wilson Oweri, said they are working with NSSF to see that people in the informal sector also save with the scheme.
On that, as Amalgamated Transport and General Workers Union, they are already on up. Actually, they are trying now to save. Because we don't want these people, you get an accident, then you are completely nowhere. So we are going to work out with NSSF. Those people in the informal sector will be able to save in a very, very modern way.
If the bill is turned into law, Uganda will join Canada, United Kingdom, United States of America, Spain and Japan, among other nations, using the exempt tax savings scheme.
You are not helping us. Help this country. Don't allow our money.
And the Commission of Inquiry into Land Matters has learnt that Major General Tema Awanyi never bought land belonging to the estate of the late Lieutenant Colonel Irinayo Oriema in Tangi Village, Moya District. This was disclosed by Gertrude Auma Oriema while testifying before the land inquiry. She emphasized she was forced to sign the alleged sale agreements without allowing her to read through.
The land inquiry has appealed to the family of the late Lieutenant Colonel Irina Oliema to get solutions to their land problems. Gertrude Oliema was dragged to the land inquiry by her nephew on allegations of selling over 6,000 acres to individuals, including Major General Tema Wany.
But Mr. Little Oliema's family is in their poverty. The man worked so hard to acquire what you sold.
In her defense, Gertrude Oliema told commissioners that she gave 909 acres to Major General Tema Wany as a token of appreciation for accommodating her for over 8 years at Acholi Inn, a hotel in Gulu. To her surprise, the inquiry showed her fake agreements of over 3,000 acres to Major Tema Wany, which she denounced as fake. She said she was approached by a brother to Major Tema Wany in pretext of signing court documents on her sick bed.
Then his little brother came to me, called La PM Thomas, an old lady like me. I'm sick. My eyes are leaking. So I just took a pen.
So you're basically saying that you signed that agreement without knowing what it was?
Yes, without knowing.
According to the commission, Gertrude seems to have sold 500 acres to a one Odong Robert.
So any money, whether 30 million or Modong, no.
The Office of the Administrator General has been appointed to administer the estate of the late Lieutenant Irina Oliema, which does not go well with Miss Gertrude.
I want to understand how you could lose 3,500 acres to an individual because you say that his hotel. Is that the right way things should be done?
Gertrude Oliema was dragged to court by her sister Mary for unlawfully selling land belonging to the estate of the late Lieutenant Irina Oliema. To the dismay of the commission, Gertrude applied for a special certificate of title from the Ministry of Lands to Beatrice Adong, who has filed a case in courts of law because of the cancellation of her title.
Did you put your land out for sale and by coincidence she's the one who bought? Or did you specifically look out for her?
I was looking for where to live, a home.
The family of the late Lieutenant Irina Oliema has been divided because of a land dispute resulting from fraudulent transactions. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
National Water and Sewerage Corporation has reviewed its 5-year performance report that led to its global recognition in the scope of an international award in San Francisco, USA last month. While addressing the board members about the utility provision and achievements, Managing Director, National Water and Sewerage Corporation, Dr. Engineer Silva Mugisha, revealed that the corporation's performance currently triples that of the last 5 years.
It has seen the corporation increase its footprint from 25 towns to over 253 towns countrywide in the period of 5 years.
The last 5 years, we have been able to increase our income from 150 billion. We are now talking of 450 billion. That is times almost 3, as the chairman has said. We have also increased our pipe network from 6,500 kilometers to 17,000 kilometers.
The government of Uganda, through National Transport Corporation, rolled out the Service Coverage Acceleration Program to water supply stabilization plans and infrastructure service delivery, as well as boosting access to safe, clean water.
We have also increased our connections from 270,000 to 650,000. That's why we said we are moving to 700,000.
The board chairman, National Transport Corporation, Engineer Christopher Ibal, owed the corporation performance and international recognition to distinguish utility management and capacity building.
But above that, we have also done what we call corporate social responsibility, especially in the area of SWAS. That also gave us a very good score.
The World Conference of Business that awarded National Transport Corporation is a leading international organization that encourages worldwide business development. Abudu Nasili Luwama for UBC News.
Meanwhile, civil societies have raised voices in support of the president's denial to assent to the Genetic Engineering Regulatory Bill 2018. Stakeholders are challenging the MPs to reconsider their position on this bill.
Civil societies have challenged Ugandan MPs to discuss and consider Genetic Engineering Regulatory Bill 2018 beyond the science, given the political implications to the households and national food security, people's livelihoods, plus national sovereignty.
Moreover, countries like Germany, France, Belgium, Netherlands, and Denmark, among others, comprise of key destinations for Uganda's exports, have banned GMOs. Therefore, infiltration of GMOs in our food systems risks Uganda's continued access to these markets.
These are calling upon legislators not to misuse the constitution, but find the implementation of the president's advice about the bill on the second denial.
On members of parliament and all stakeholders that the discussion and consideration of the Genetic Engineering Regulatory Bill should go beyond science, given the potential implications to the household and national food security, people's livelihoods, macroeconomics.
Are actually re-appealing to the members of parliament to listen to their voters.
Henry Nixon Ogwal of Action Aid Uganda stressed of external powers who continue pushing for this bill that Uganda is a sovereign state with the mandate of the people by the people as required.
Every nation is entitled to their opinion. So, the ambassador of the United States of America in Uganda is entitled to our opinion. But the citizens of Uganda have got the sovereign right to choose what is right for them or not.
Civil societies want bodies in Uganda to mind about other means of multiplying food productivity.
In their passing, they were bribed, they went jumping around, and no, that is not the issue now. And has find out why is Europe banning GMOs.
This is the second time President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni denies assent to this bill. Abudu Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
African legislators have underscored the need for increased public awareness on information and communications technology. The Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, acknowledges the gap in ICT coverage in many African states, calling on African governments to embrace ICT. This was during the 50th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Africa Region Conference, which is taking place in Zanzibar. ICT was emphasized by the Deputy Minister for Education and Vocational Training in the Zanzibar government, Simai Mohammed Sayed.
It is increasingly used to improve. You have the old guards and you've got the new, young, fresh blood who are coming in, wanting to have more of the new technology to be introduced. I understand in Uganda now, people are, the member of parliament are using the iPads, which actually using the iPads and tablets and computers probably. It's good for the environment, but it also, you are able as a parliamentarian to have that access to information to make sure that whom you are representing, all the information is needed is in front of you. So I think this is also some of the challenges that we are facing on ourselves at the House of Representatives in Zanzibar.
Honourable members, he has addressed the definitions of democracy and ICT. He has created a linkage between the state, the citizens and business using information technology. He has also talked about the paucity of coverage in many African countries. And but basically, the other night, the need that we can no longer run away from ICT, starting from the voter registration. We no longer have manual lists, so we can just improve, open the door to the parliament. Yes,
and with that, we'll take a quick break. When we return, business news.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. In business news, the port of Dar es Salaam is being expanded in a bid to receive any size of cargo ships and vessels in future. The largest port in Tanzania, which currently handles vessels of 3,000 to 4,000 containers, will have the capacity to handle vessels transporting more than 6,000 containers at its berths. That's when the project is completed next year.
The port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania is undergoing refurbishment and expansion in a bid to improve efficiency. The port has been facing challenges in receiving bigger ships, and the current capacity of the port is about 3,000 to 4,000 containers.
Dar es Salaam port right now, it was designed to handle around 13.5 million tons. That was design built, but recently we've handled more than 15 million tons, 15.7 around.
With the expansion and deepening of the 8 berths and the widening of the turning area for ships, the port's capacity is expected to improve further to handle vessels with at least 6,000 containers. This initiative will not only benefit Tanzania, but the East African region and beyond.
Once you hire a ship of bigger capacity, it means you negotiate nicely, so it's advantageous to you as a cargo receiver now to let your cargo be sold competitively at the market. Okay. But again, advantage to the port, instead of handling several ships, you handle, could be 5 ships instead of 10 ships per given time. That is convenient to us as well.
Bohel is expecting a huge change with cargo units when the upgrade of the port is completed and working to its full capacity.
So most of the areas has been occupied by the contractor, just we don't have space to keep the cargo. Even some of our sheds are demolished to modernize our ports. Some other area will be fully containerized.
The expansion project is expected to be completed by the end of 2020. The ongoing development at the port is expected to complement Tanzania's standard gauge railway, which is also being constructed to serve the Central Corridor, which is an alternative import and export route for Uganda. Dennis Igoa and Robin Yoso for UBC News.
On the international scene, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has condemned a web of looting and violence, mostly targeting nationals of other African countries. Now, dozens of people were arrested in Johannesburg on Monday. At least 5 people have been killed in the unrest, and other African governments have issued warnings to their citizens over the violence. Angry residents in the city are calling on the government to deport undocumented migrants. But one Nigerian businessman whose shop was targeted by looters said that foreign nationals in South Africa were subjected to a lot of allegations and lies. Meanwhile, a bunch of the South African supermarket ShopRite has been vandalized in the Lagos neighborhood of Lekki. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari sent an envoy to South Africa on Tuesday to express Nigeria's displeasure over the treatment of her citizens. Ethiopia's embassy in South Africa has advised its citizens to close their businesses during the ongoing tension, according to Ethiopia's state-linked Fana Broadcasting Corporate. Zambia's Transport Ministry has said the lorry drivers should avoid traveling to South Africa until security situation improves.
Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
Let's talk sports. Uganda's athletes that participated in the All-Africa Games in Morocco and Rabat returned yesterday, 3rd September, to a prestigious dinner organized by the National Council of Sports to appreciate all the athletes who lifted Uganda's flag during the contest. Uganda achieved a total of 10 medals. Zubai Galiwango, National Council of Sports Vice Chairperson Technical, says discipline is the pillar to success in any sport.
As government, we are pleased that every other year, in almost all the international competitions, Uganda is excelling and moving from one place to another. So we believe once we settle and bring the federations to harmony and discipline in all the federations, Uganda is better than what it was, and it is going to work better than what we are now.
But though I didn't manage to get a gold medal, I thank God for the silver I got. You know, this tournament were not easy. You are not that easy that you are going to come from nowhere and you get a gold medal, because this was my first time to go in such competitions, in such international tournaments. And I really thank God that I managed to come back home with a silver medal. Yeah, I really feel blessed. I'm blessed. I really thank God.
First of all, I thank God for this opportunity. I came back with a silver. It wasn't easy. These were tough games, but I managed to bring the silver medal. Yeah, so what I'm hoping right now is only the Olympic qualifiers. And I know I have to make it.
I feel so happy that I represented my country so well, that I was able to get this medal. And I'm very thankful to my coach, Coach Rabo Fred, for having helped me go through this.
Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, has maintained its global ranking of 6th and in the process boosted its chances of competing against the best nations. The She Cranes finished in an improved 7th position at the Netball World Cup in England, and it's little surprise they remain among the top netball playing nations in the world. The nations above Uganda in descending order is Australia in number 1, New Zealand, England, Jamaica and South Africa. Malawi is 7th is the other African nations among the top 10 that is complete by Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. The achievement by Uganda enables the She Cranes to compete at lucrative tournaments like the first 5 series, which is the reserve for the world's top 6 teams.
And the accuracy is good to kick off this second half.
Building slowly, Malawi, and waiting for the big one, but the Ugandans were onto it.
Well, these are the moments that matter right here for Uganda. Oh, and they've blown it. Goodness me. Oh, how about that?
Have they left it too long? Yes, they have.
How that change goes, because Nanfuka is the ball winner.
What a proud moment. However, it's a bad day for most Ugandan golfers as the Uganda Open Golf Tournament hosted the amateurs at the Lake Victoria Serena Golf Course. On day one of the tournament, defending champion Ronald Otile returned a 82 stroke owing to the challenging winds affecting his play. With Kenyans filling 5 of the top slots, Simon Onjogo leads the pack on 73 strokes. 260 golfers played on day one in a 4-day event that climaxes Saturday.
My opening round hasn't been so good. I struggled a little bit on the back nine. I could not make putts, and I was on the green on regulations. But the putts and I think the pin positions really got onto my side and gave me a bit of a challenge. So yeah, I think putting let me down today on the back nine. It's actually at the beginning. I can play +10 today, I can still play -10 tomorrow. So it's just first day. We have 3 more rounds to go, so it's just a game. So tomorrow I'm sure it will be better.
My first time being here. I love the course. My game today was good. Started off a bit rough. Made a few bogeys on the first 6 holes. Got it back nicely after 11 holes. I was 1 under. Then dropped a few shots coming to the end. I finished +3, which is not too bad. 2 shots back from the leader. Hopefully tomorrow should be good.
Because the course here is playing well. I'm so happy with my round today, and hope for the best the remaining rounds.
The Kenyan team this time has come with a lot of venom and a lot of expectations. We know for sure we are winning. It's not a question of what. The question is how, with how many points will we win. But for sure we know we are taking it, and it's going to be so much fun doing it in a new course like this, that plays this well. So the victory is going to be much sweeter.
What's your name?
My name is Carl Wambasi. Carl Wambasi. Yes.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, thank you.
Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
And now a quick look on the headlines. President Museveni arrives in Cape Town for the 28th World Economic Forum on Africa. Mufti Mubaje appointed on African Council of Religious Leaders. While civil societies praise President Museveni on GMOs. And in sports, Kenyans dominate Uganda Open Amateur Golf Tournament. It's been a lovely evening, and that ends news tonight. Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll leave you with the weather update. Good night.
Hello there, glad you're joining us for today's weather report. I'm Alitvera Juliet from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Today most parts of the country have had sunny intervals in the morning and later in the afternoon developed showers. And from what we are seeing from our rainfall report received by 9 a.m. this morning from the different stations we have across the country, Namlonge had the highest of 17.6, Jinja 4.6, Kasese 2.9, Masindi 1.6 together with Tororo. And from our satellite image taken over Africa, it is indicating the rain belt over our country and contributing to the wet activities which we are experiencing in most parts of our country. Tomorrow morning we are expecting sunny intervals in most parts of our country. Gulu, light rains together with areas in the lake, those are the islands. Later in the afternoon we are expecting a wet weather pickup in most parts of the country, while thunder showers for the northern sector are expected. For the southwestern Uganda, together with some parts in the eastern, we are expecting sunny intervals. Maximum temperatures will rise up to 28 degrees centigrade in Karamoja. Around Lake Victoria Basin, Kampala inclusive, we are expecting a maximum of 27 degrees centigrade. And for Kavale Highlands, a maximum of 24 is expected. And if you intend to go beyond Uganda, we are expecting rains in Paris at a maximum of 19 degrees centigrade. Nairobi, Dubai and New York, we are expecting sunny intervals, whereas London, bright sunny conditions are expected. Thank you for keeping us company. That's what we had today in store. Don't hesitate to visit our website as it is well displayed on your screen. Have a blessed night.